If you've ever had even a single craving in your life, then this video is for you. If you've ever eaten a bag of chips far beyond the serving size, which is usually like 2 chips, this video is for you. If your hormones are all out of whack, this video might be for you. Because in this video, we're talking about 6 ways to combat cravings. Alright guys, I'm glad that you're here. Today's video, we are going to be talking about 6 ways that you can combat cravings. In my last video, or the one before last, I talked about 6 different reasons why you could be having cravings, but there are a plethora of reasons why you could be having cravings. Nonetheless, this is something that we have all experienced once in our life and we want to get a handle of it. So I'm going to come at you with 6 different reasons, some of which you may have heard, some might be a little bit more unique and might be cool to open your eyes and your hearts and your mind to. Let's do this. Wow, my battery's really about to die right now. I am so bad at this. Number 1, lack of sleep. Now, there are 2 different hormones that regulate hunger, ghrelin and leptin. And to put it simply, ghrelin is responsible for your hunger and your appetite, and leptin is responsible for your satiety and your fullness levels. As you may have experienced in the past, if you have little sleep or poor quality sleep, you notice these cravings coming on about the days or at the end of the day or whatever. This is because of an imbalance in your ghrelin and leptin levels because they're altered. Now I have so many suggestions for you as far as what you can do to have better quality sleep and more sleep, but if that video is of desire for you guys, let me know down below because there are so many different things that you can do to improve your quality of sleep. I get it. It's so annoying when you hear people say you should do this, but they don't give you strategies to fixing that area of your life. So if you guys want to see that video, let me know because your girl loves her beauty sleep. And hormones are no joke, friends. Our body works in mysterious ways, and by mysterious ways, I mean it works in a consecutive unit. Number 2, play around with different food profiles so that you can satisfy your body's desire for different tastes. We all know that different foods have a variety of different flavor profiles such as sweet, salty, pungent, nutty, earthy, sour, spicy, salty. And if you watched my last video about 6 reasons why you might be having cravings, you'll notice that we talked about the balance between yin and yang energy in your life as far as food goes and lifestyle. If you haven't watched that video, I'll link it somewhere up here and I'll also put it in the description below. But essentially, if you're eating something higher in salt or a savory dish, then your body might start to crave something sweet, like that sweet tooth that hits right after dinner. Same thing goes for raw foods and cooked foods, for example. So by diversifying your meals and playing with different tastes, you're satisfying your body's desire to have those different flavor profiles. Does that make sense? A good example of this might be to incorporate sweet vegetables into your dinner dish or lunch dish like a sweet potato, or heck, even breakfast. And remember to give your body time to create that balance if you're going to try out this step. But it is something to play around with and do a little bit of research on if you want to search for recipes that are going to help you in this area of your life. Number 2.5, water. Again, if you watched my last video, you would know that partially the reason why you could be having cravings is because you're not drinking enough water. So the solution to that would be to drink more water. But listen, we all know this, but even if it's something that you feel like you drink enough water, what I suggest you do is track the amount of water that you drink for a couple of days just to get a gauge of where you're really at versus where you think you're at, and then challenge yourself to drink more than that. 3, stress. Listen, we all want to zone out watching The Bachelorette on a Monday night, snacking on some chips or some ice cream or some peanut butter or whatever, if you're anything like me, at the end of a long and stressful day.
But listen here, friends.
This is simply an instant gratification factor to a deeply rooted problem. The problem being your stress. If this is you, what I recommend you do is really becoming aware of what your stressors are and what triggers you and combating them head on and coming up with strategies to deal with your stress in the most effective way instead of just pushing them to the back burner and using food as a coping mechanism. Now, I will say that sometimes this happens subconsciously and we don't even realize that we're doing it because it's become a habit. So the first step to that is becoming aware of what these triggers are so we can focus on going about changing them in a proper way. This is probably one of the most common ones that I see, but it is 100% absolutely changeable and such an effective way on combating cravings. If you want more tips on this, then I'm so happy to dedicate an entire video to this because I'm so passionate about stress, well, not having it, but like not having it, and mental health. So give me a thumbs up and
Let me know below
if you want a video dedicated to that, and we're gonna dive deep in it. Go deep with it. Let me see you shake it fast, put some freaking. Oh, and this could be something as simple as asking yourself before you eat the snack or the food or whatever it is, and asking yourself, am I really hungry or am I eating because of XYZ? But here's the thing. Even if you realize that you are eating because of a different reason outside of true bodily hunger, that's okay. It's really annoying when the concept of changing our behaviors and our habits around food are simply asking yourself, or are said to be simply asking yourself, am I hungry? As if that's the end all be all if you decide that you're not hungry. But friends, I am here to tell you that that is not the case. And if you decide that you aren't hungry, you still have the permission to eat that food. No food should be off limits in your diet. And chances are, even if you realize it, you're gonna eat the food anyways. So don't feel guilty about that, and just know that the one step that you should have been concerned about in that time is focusing on awareness, if that's the level that you're at. In order to change our habits, we need to become aware of what we're doing. And that's gonna lead me into my next point. But if you are mindful and conscious about the food that you're eating instead of doing it subconsciously and just grabbing, that's different. So give yourself permission to eat it anyways, but just know that you're taking an incredible step to becoming aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it. This is how we create change, friends. Lasting change that can help you in all areas of your life. Now, this leads me into my next step. What number are we on? 4. Mindful eating. Similar to what we talked about before, but I'm going to give you a different strategy that I believe will nearly instantly help you. It did for me, so here we go. If there is one thing that I know about myself, it's that meat and chips haven't always been the best of friends. I mean, it could be beanitos, you know, the bean chips. It could be the healthiest of chip. Well, I mean, it's healthy for the soul, so. It could be a bean chip or it can be a tortilla chip, but whatever it is, you know your girl is gonna eat like 5 servings of it in one sitting. 6 servings in one sitting. But if there's one thing that I've found extremely helpful in combating these cravings is allowing your body the opportunity to feel its fullness before you get to the end of the bag or the box or the tub or the whatever. And here's how you can do that. You're going to grab the bag. I'm going to use chips for example. Use whatever you want. Grab the pizza box. You're going to start eating it, but you are going to chew and chew and chew and chew. The average American chews one bite of food about 3 to 5 times. I'm surprised that we do not choke more than we do. But when you're about to swallow, don't. Bring it back to your teeth and chew and chew and chew some more. You are going to chew this food until it liquefies in your mouth. Disgusting, right? Right, because it absolutely is. This is where the mindfulness is taking place, and you are actively deciding that you are going to continue to chew and chew and chew. And let me tell you why this works. Not only are you helping your body with the digestive process and absorbing the nutrients from that food, more so than that, because that's a different topic, you are giving your taste buds the opportunity to taste that food for a longer extended period of time. Because when we eat, especially if it's a craving food or something that we just like to snack on and it's hard to get out of that habit and mindset, we are just going, shoving it in our mouths, continuously satisfying those taste buds more and more with the same taste. Now, if we slow down and chew that food more and more, we are going to be sitting with that taste in our mouth for a longer period of time. When you slow down, you feel your satiety levels reach faster, you're tasting that food longer, you're helping with the digestive process. It's a win-win. I will say this, however. It is disgusting. It is annoying. Maybe it's a good thing that it's disgusting because you get tired of eating that food and having that taste as it slowly mixes in with your saliva and becomes less of a salty, crunchy treat and more of a slightly savory mush in your mouth. I know that's gross, but just being honest. And you won't crave having the rest of the bag. I have found this to be so successful, and many people have told me that this has worked for them when I've suggested it. It is almost instantaneous, but it is annoying. My camera almost died. Please stay for me. Here's a couple other things you can do. Put 1 tablespoon less of creamer in your coffee. Do that for a week, then lower even more and more. Do this over time so that you can adapt quicker. You could cut cold turkey, but you might need some accountability to help you stick to that goal so you don't quote unquote fail yourself. It's a lot easier to let yourself down than it is to let other people. So maybe get some help if you want to do the cut and cold turkey thing. Eat an open-faced burger instead of having a bun on each side, slowly reducing the amount of bread that you eat. That's what I personally do. And now I just don't like having that much bread. Use the mindful eating practice with this step so that you can feel your body's satiety and appreciate the food that you do have, even if it does taste a little bit different with the less sweetener or whatever, and it is a little bit of a smaller portion. Maybe your body doesn't need that much to begin with, but you're scarfing it down so fast you don't have the opportunity to know how full you can be or how full you really are. I would love to do an entire video on this as well. Again, this is another thing that makes me so excited to talk about, so let me know if you want that one too. I'll probably make it anyways, but let me know so I know who's interested in it. My last tip for you today before my camera dies is to find a calming hobby. Now, I say this because there are a lot of foods that we grab and we eat that have the chemical makeup of something that releases endorphins and calms us down and reduces our stress, even if temporary, like cheese, like sugar, for example. And again, this is an instant gratification factor, as said before. I know this is easier said than done, but brainstorm different hobbies that you wouldn't mind trying for a while to see if they really resonate with you. That could be at the end of your day. That could be some light stretching, following a stretching routine on YouTube, doing a 5-minute meditation, or just a calming practice. Take a bath. I know we hear about these self-care things all the time, but at this point in time, with these late night cravings especially, we want to wind down and we want to just have a decent end of our night after an often stressful day. And we associate pleasure with eating food. So it's time to associate pleasure with something outside of food, like one of these practices. But what I would recommend if you're going to take up a certain practice after you've brainstormed is give it 2 to 3 weeks of doing something before you really decide if it resonates with you or not. Chances are it's going to be a little bit challenging to find the flow and find the joy in doing something new. I just took on journaling, and it's something I've been dabbling in and out of for years now, but I finally have committed to doing it almost every day for about a week, and now I'm finally realizing that I enjoy it a lot. It still is kind of hard to get myself to do, but it takes time. Give your body time and give your mind time to find that flow in something that you might enjoy doing. Challenge yourself to seek fulfillment in something outside of food. And over time, this approach can be amazing for looking forward to something else that's not grabbing that snack. Anyways, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My camera's about to die. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and let me know if you like this kind of video. It was really exciting to make, especially when I was doing the research for it, because it took a lot of evaluation in my own head and saying, like, what do I do to combat cravings? And then versus that, and then what the internet was saying, I was like, this makes a lot of sense. So I gathered up some of the best ones I could find. I can do a part 2 to any of these videos, but yeah, destroy that like button, annihilate that subscribe button, tackle that bell, and yeah, if you guys want to check me out on Instagram, I post so many updates about this stuff. I'm so passionate about it. It's at EdenGold_. If you want some healthy recipe ideas, my Pinterest is at EdenGold_ as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in my next video. So